Hey everybody, I'm Jamie. Welcome to my channel and welcome to another video. Today is going to be a little bit different, but I thought I would finally do a tour of this little cabin that we're living in. We moved out of our 1,600 square foot house about a month and a half ago, and we've been living in this cabin that entire time with the exception of about 2 weeks when we were on vacation in Florida. So we haven't done everything we want to do here yet. We definitely have some things we want to update. And even though this is a rental, my husband's aunt owns it and has told us that we can do some updates. We can do kind of whatever we want to the place. So we're still thinking about what we want to do, but I wanted to share with you kind of what it looks like now as we're living in it. It's about 394 square feet. We measured the other day, so it's very small, but we're trying to make use of the space as much as possible. I will also say there is a basement below, which is the same size just about of the house, so that's helped a lot with storage, so we have a lot of stuff down there. There's also a porch off of the side, and this cabin has the greatest view of the lake, which you can't see right now because the snow is covering the trees, but it's beautiful, and I've shown it in some of my other videos. So without further ado, let's get into a tour of the cabin. So we're just going to start with a very quick overview of the porch, which definitely needs to be cleaned up. We've been in the process of adding some furniture and things like that, so it's a little bit of a mess right now, but here's the view out the window right now. It is just covered in snow. I actually have the day off of work because there's so much snow out there. So here is the porch. Like I said, covered with stuff. We need to get rid of all of the chairs. These cardboard boxes are all empty and need to go to recycling. So there's really not that much out here. Most of it needs to be donated or go somewhere else. But this is the porch. This is the view out the front. Like I said, the snow is blocking the view of the lake, which we can see through the trees, but not at the moment. So let's go into the cabin. All right, so our tour starts in this little room, which I call the mudroom, but it's just kind of another part of the cabin. So this is the overview of this little room. We've got a rack here with some canned goods and pots and pans, plates, toaster, just everyday necessities that we need. And then some more canned goods down here and boots. Over here I have the pet area set up with cat and dog food and just some art supplies and photo albums. And that's just on this little bookshelf, cat water and brooms and things. Here's the door that I just came through. And then I've got the dog stuff hanging up by the door. This little chair is the exact same one I had in our old house with my work bag sitting on it ready to go for tomorrow. And then I'm going to show you this, even though I really don't want to. This is our litter box. We have it set up here because there's nowhere else to set it up, really. It's a very small place. There's not really another place we can set it up. The other thing is that Ayla, oh, there goes a visitor. Ayla, our oldest cat, tends to pee outside the litter box, which is why we have the puppy pads there. So here's the rest of the room here. We've got an exercise bike, which is currently drying one of the dog jackets and my husband's hat because it's so snowy. He was out doing some work today. Today's January 23rd as I'm filming this. We have the cat tree here. As you can probably see, it takes up quite a bit of room. However, our cats love it and use it all the time, so we didn't want to get rid of it. So over here, in full disclosure, we have a couple of bins for storage and animal stuff. And then I did bring some of my plants from our old house, not a ton, but I was ready to get rid of some anyway because they were kind of taking over my life. So this little bar top is here. We added this chair and we have another one to build to add to that so we can do some work on computers and things like that right there. So that's kind of nice. And then we have this doorway, which you can see from the door, and we're going to go into the living room and the kitchen. So we'll start with the kitchen over here. So we have a refrigerator and microwave here. The refrigerator is about 3/4 size. It's definitely not a full-size fridge, so it's pretty small, but it fits what we need. We also have a microwave up here, and then over here a very small stove. So this is again 1/2 or 3/4 size stove. It must be made for a cabin or a small apartment. Over here we have the countertops. They're very small as well. We can't keep much on them other than the necessities, although obviously my alcohol bottles over here are not necessities, but we have cutting boards and pans and things like that. So here's kind of a whole overview of the kitchen. We've got the trash can there as well, a nice camera in the window, and that window looks out over the lake as well, so it's really nice watching sunrises in the morning when I'm doing dishes. And I think as it gets a little bit later in the afternoon, I'll be able to watch the sunset as I'm doing dishes in the afternoon. So next we'll go into the bathroom, which is, you know, nothing too exciting, but I'll show you regardless. So a tiny little shower, and when I say tiny, I mean tiny. We barely fit in there. It's very small, but it works for what we need it for. And then, you know, all the basic necessities of a small cabin bathroom. Then we'll go around the corner and I'll show you the living room. So we have animal beds set up on the floor here because our cats are old and they just want to sleep all day. So there's Hobbs, the orange one, and Ayla is the really old one. She's almost 20. And then Luna's sleeping in the chair over here. So we've got 2 recliners that came from my in-laws, and we use them all the time for everything right now, although we'll be able to use that bar top pretty soon for more things. We can now, actually. We have strung lights up on these beams because I just needed some extra light, and my best friend suggested Christmas lights, and I thought that was such a great idea, so we hung them up the next day, and it just really brightens things up and makes it more cozy in here. So we just have a little table set up there, and then over here, these drawers are where I'm keeping all my silverware at the moment. So, because there's no place for silverware, there's no drawer in the kitchen at all that we could use for silverware. So we have our TV set up here, all of my shoes are down there, and then a couple more plants. My Nintendo Switch that I'm actually starting to use to play Animal Crossing and having fun with it. And then I should probably show you these cupboards. So we can't put plates in these cupboards. They are extremely narrow. These are just normal size bowls. And yeah, these cupboards don't fit much. So we've got some cups and glasses, bowls, dog dishes and cat dishes, and then, you know, a few food things, but really not a whole lot in these cupboards because they just don't fit much. We also have a couple of under sink cupboards with some cleaning stuff. So the last room in the cabin is our bedroom. I've got my laptop charging over there. This bedroom fits a king-size bed. This is a king-size bed, but that's really all it fits. As you can see, there's just a little bit of space here beside the bed, just enough for the dog bed, and the dog starts the night in the bed and then ends up jumping on the bed with us in the middle of the night at some point. And then there's just enough space to walk around and then get to the side. But it's really all that we need. The cat is begging to be petted. Hi, good girl. So the last space I'll show you that we don't really use other than for storage is a loft. So there is a loft up here. It holds several bins, which is nice. My husband has some of his out of season clothes up there, and I have, you know, a couple of things as well, Christmas decorations and things like that. So let me do a quick show and tell of the entire living room / mudroom area. Not very big, but actually not as small as a cabin could be. So that is it, guys. That's the whole cabin. It is much cozier than it was, or that I felt like it was when I first moved here. It was very hard to go from a large-ish house, 1,600 square feet, you know, plus an entry area, which was another couple of hundred square feet, plus a huge porch. It was very hard to go from that to this small space, but it's really cozy and we really have everything we need. We downsized quite a bit, but the stuff we got rid of was stuff we didn't need. So I'm kind of liking living in this smaller space, not having anywhere near as much to clean, and just sort of feeling like I have everything I need around me. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching my little tiny house tour, and I will be back soon with more content and more things for you to watch. Have a great day. Bye-bye.